we've got three top tier one front runners. And let me just put in as an aside, these are three guys who are also going to be in the running for the Hobie Baker Award, no doubt. Ethan Wittenbach from Quinnipiac in 36 games, 24 goals, 33 assists, 57 points. He has been terrific for the Bobcats, plays like a veteran. Look at the numbers he has. What about Ethan? What do we see with him?
I think it's the number one thing that stands out is he came from the USHL, right? We talk so much about the CHL, and here's a kid that came the more traditional USHL route, and he has dominated. I saw him early in the year a couple of times in games that I called, and he stands out. Every single time he touches the puck, that something can happen. Didn't have the same flash and promotion that, Gavin McKenna did, or even Martone at Michigan. Michigan State, I'm sorry. We've talked a little bit about him. We didn't talk about Wittenbach that way, and he might be the best of all the rookies.
Drafted by Calgary. Quinnipiac wasn't even sure they were bringing him in this year. He was actually scheduled to go in next year. Ryan Carruthers coached him in Sioux Falls, Colonial alum. He's just been lights out. But like I said, he was a late ad because somebody couldn't get into school or somebody left or something to that. And can you imagine if he would have been back in the USHL? So this kid's legit. And he's, like I said, Ryan did a good job with him preparing. You don't come into college hockey and have that kind of year unless you are, like you said, off the charts big time. And he is.
Well, you already brought up Gavin McKenna and Porter Martone. Let's talk about those. Gavin McKenna has had headlines he didn't want, but seems to have survived that pretty well. 32 games, 14 goals, and 34 assists. And he really has been a playmaker for that Penn State team and a big game impact player. Let's mention Martone, and we can talk about both of them. Porter Martone, 23 goals, 23 assists, 46 points. Kind of a big NHL style heavy player, and top scoring on a team that's going to contend for the national championship. What about these guys? I mean, they've both had. I've gotten the sense from people they feel like McKenna has not performed at the level he was expected to. But what more can you ask for a guy, especially with 34 apples?
I think I think people expected him to be a goal scorer, Ed, and he has scored, and he's really strong on that power play. But his ability to see the ice really stands out to me, and I think that's what we've noticed is his ability to set the play up. He's really strong on the power play, and the Penn State power play is better because of him. But I get it. People expected him to come in and score 30 goals. That wasn't going to happen. I think that is what made people take a step back. He is phenomenal. You want him on your team.
People expected him to be a 100-point guy in college hockey because of what he did. That was the expectation. They were comparing him to Paul Kariya. The hype, it's really unfair to compare them to guys like Celebrini and them. He's still a young boy. I mean, you can see it on his frame, and that's where he's growing and playing against men or helping. But yeah, I think the hype was 100 points. That's not even. I mean, that's unfair to him. He's had a very good year, and that's 100% what you said is true. But to expect more from him, it's still college hockey. They're still playing against men, and he's been outstanding. So. For everybody, all the detractors, I think that he's had a really good year.
And it'll be interesting to see about development. You talk about putting a little bit more on his frame. He probably is gaining more in that area of development and conditioning and so forth, playing college hockey than he would have in another year of juniors.
So
we'll clip that and send it to College Hockey Inc. and they can use it in one of their ads. How about that? Martone, what more can you expect out of him? He's really making his resume pretty big here too.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer, and he's got the finish. He's got the flash to him. But he's done it since night one. I think that he flashed right away, and I think that's what made him stand out a little more than McKenna. But both players, same league, both playing on really strong teams. I think that each deserves some looks here for the Taylor. I still think when we look at this trio, Wittenbach to me is the one that stands out. And the numbers probably stand out with it. We have other people we'll talk about, but I love Wittenbach.
Porter Martone, Philadelphia Flyers draft pick, is kind of fallen in the shadow of McKenna a little bit. I don't think the hype was as big for him, but he's had a really good year. I mean, the captain of the World Junior team, all of that, and playing on a team which legitimately is been a top 2 or 3 team all year. But I think he was overshadowed a little bit. I think he's taken that to his advantage. And like you said, this tier here, all outstanding hockey.